Okay, today is October 30th, 2024. I'm Tina Law. Many of you know me because I'll be posting this to my personal page, my two group pages for Lawpdoodle Canine Manor, as well as my business page. Still haven't figured out the live thing. I don't know if it's our internet or what it is, but we are, praise God, finally going to get fiber. They've already wired it through our road, but it won't be till sometime in 2025. So I may or may not get this video uploaded today. I've already been out today. I had to go to the dentist, and then I stopped by Hobby Lobby. They're loaded up with Christmas and still a lot of autumn. So if anybody wants decorations for that, personally, I did not invest in that. I had a couple of sewing things that I needed to pick up, just minor things. But anyway, I thought I'd get back to you, give you kind of an update. We had a couple of little setbacks. I know that I posted that we had placed 3 of our adults and thought they were a really good situation, especially the first 2 that went. And unfortunately, it didn't work out for reasons beyond me. I don't know. The girls are great. They were great together. We had them spend time together. The person came out and met them the first time, and the girls were happy. They were very interactive with not only us, but also the person interested in adopting them. And then she came back the following week to pick them up. I don't know what happened in the interim, but because I'm not one to judge, but anyway, both dogs were brought back to us, and honestly, there is absolutely nothing wrong with them. I'm going to put my glasses on here real quick to tell you which 2 those are. We are still looking for homes for them. They are both spayed. Mia is a beautiful Old English sheepdog. She was never bred, and her birthday is 2/21/21, so she is 4.5 years old. All right. Lovey did, praise God, go to a good home. I'm very happy for that. She was actually born here, and so far so good. There's been some adjustment. We've been in touch with them, but I think they're doing pretty well. And Bernie, who went with Mia and came back with Mia, her birth date is 9/10/2017. She's a beautiful blue and white party tuxedo female, and also spayed. So she's ready to go to her new home, and I'd really like to see both of them. They don't need to go together. If you have another dog at home, I will say that any of our adoptions that are part of our pack will have even more adjustment if it's been done, but they'll have even more adjustment if they go to a home that doesn't have other dogs. But it takes a lot of time and a lot of patience, and you really just need to work on making them feel secure in their new environment. It's not as easy as saying, oh, they're an adult, much easier to raise as puppies. No, puppies are very resilient. They adjust to a new environment just like that. It's just the training and the extra time it takes, and the puppy phase that some people don't like to go through. But again, adopting an adult, and people that have adopted, shelters probably have a lot of returns as well for that very reason. For one, they can't often tell you the background of their dogs. At least we can do that, and we can tell you about their personalities, because we've spent most of their life with them and them with us. So anyway, but there still is an adjustment period, okay? And, you're taking them from everything they've been familiar with for the last several years of their life and upending their life into a new environment. It's like a child that has been told by their mom and dad that they're relocating, and all their friends and that they've made in school or in the neighborhood, they're gone. They have to leave them behind, and it can be tough on kids. Well, guess what? It can be tough on dogs too. So I just want to let you know that. So Bernie and Mia are back with us. That is the agreement that we have, that if it doesn't work out, we want them back here. Okay. The fate of any one of our dogs is extremely, extremely important to us. All right, now going down the list, we have 2 male Old English sheepdogs that are retiring. Everest, his birth date is 8/22/2018. He was actually born here. And Bash, who is a gorgeous double blue-eyed boy, his birthday is 9/6/19. And we also have both his sisters that we got from the same breeder at the same time with same birth date. Frankie. Now, Frankie's not spayed, nor is Clara, actually, without having any puppies going home since this past spring. We haven't had a litter since March of this year. But anyhow, so those kinds of funds are kind of limited for us, but our rule has always been that they are spayed or neutered before they leave. But Frankie has never had puppies. We've got her noted in our files as infertile. And Clara, again, she's 5 years old. So she is what I would say retirement age. Both girls are wonderful. Probably could go individually. To be honest, Old English sheepdogs tend to be a little possessive. So sometimes they do better being adopted alone. And that may have been the conflict between Mia and Bernie. I don't know. They seemed to get along great while they were here. But they're both back and they do not have to go together. Okay. But sometimes I don't recommend two Old English sheepdogs going together. I had a fellow breeder years ago say something hilarious to me. And at the time, my daughter was still a teenager and still a cheerleader. Well, this lady was also a cheer coach. And she said that when it came to her Old English sheepdogs that were part of her pack, she said they could be like a bunch of catty little cheerleaders. And I'll tell you, she hit it on the head. We've never had any big, huge fights or anything like that, but they tend to be a little bit snippy and possessive. And I don't recommend them around really active, these are the adults specifically that I'm speaking of, around really active young children, because sometimes if they're sleeping and something goes whoop right by them, they might snip out. I've got an old one here she's over 10. And she's been with me since she was a puppy. And she's great. She's wonderful. She's lived with a multitude of dogs in my house for many, many years. But every once in a while, one of our little rat terriers or one of our dachshunds just happens to walk by her while she's sleeping just a little too suddenly. And she just kind of instinctively snips out. So they're not aggressive dogs, but they are possessive of their space. My husband has that same issue. Anyway, on to what we've got. We've got 3 first-generation Great Mountainese Doodles that were all born here and all are ready for adoption. Okay. Please contact me directly. My phone number for text, and then we can set up a time to talk. But initiate by text is 301-820-2272. And I'll give you my email a little bit further down the road here. All right, so that would be Becca. She's a sweetheart. One that I would love to keep myself. Fancy, and she is beautiful. Both were born in 2020. Fancy is a beautiful tricolor. A Great Mountainese Doodle is a combination of a Pyrenees crossed with a Bernese Mountain Dog and back crossed to a poodle. Okay, and they are beautiful. It was before the market tanked. Or began to tank. We were doing well. It was a new doodle breed that we had introduced, and everybody that has the puppies that we did have had nothing but wonderful things to say about them. So it was a great idea, but unfortunately with the way the market went in the dog business or puppy business or whatever you want to call it, things just are not looking good. Okay, so I have a standard poodle. Let's see, Angel. She is done. She only had 2 litters for us. It's her children that we still have here that were born in January. Beautiful standard poodles. They're all tricolor. And I have 2 currently, unless these folks come through, I have 2 females and I have 3 males. Yeah. That were born in January of this year. So they're 10 months old, and so they're still at that age where they can adjust, easily be trained. They go to the bathroom outside in their yards. They do not go back inside the kennel. They're kept inside at night and let out at 6 a.m. in the morning, and do not soil inside. They are free fed. They have water 24/7 that's actually plumbed to each stall through a Lixit so that they're not drinking standing water. That is the way that all of our, and of course the kennel itself is climate controlled, heated in the winter and air conditioned in the summer. All right, so those two I'm keeping right now. Tessie, I'm keeping. Georgia is our one Great Mountainese Doodle that I still hesitate to let go of. But if the right person comes, I will let go of her. I have never been able to breed her because of the slowdown of the market. But she is a gorgeous red brindle party. Great Mountainese Doodle, first generation. And I kept her specifically because her markings were phenomenal. But she has never been bred, and her birth date is 10/1/2021. Okay. Let's see. Do I have anybody? Oh, Gibbs, our silver and white, technically tricolor. He showed his colors more when he was a puppy. His birth date is 6/16/2019. He is a standard poodle, ready for adoption. And Grant is our beautiful silver merle standard poodle who is ready for adoption. His birth date is 9/7/2019. We kept back one of his sons from 2022, Ty, who is also a merle, and so therefore we're going to retire his dad, Grant. Okay. At this point, I think that's all I have for immediate adoption. And if you have any questions about any of them or would like individual pictures, I definitely have pictures of those that have been bred before on file. Frankie, I'm not sure if I have an individual picture of her, and I think I took a picture of Georgia at one point because she's so drop dead gorgeous, but I'd have to really search my photos to find that. Cora is also retiring. I think I forgot to mention her. She's retiring. Her sister Rona's already retired. 12/26/2019. She's a beautiful merle standard poodle, brown and white, so she doesn't show it as distinctly as a silver and white. But she is a gorgeous poodle and very, very sweet. They were some of my best whelpers. I mean, they could just boop, boop, boop. No problems. Healthy puppies, big litters. But it's time for them to retire. Okay. We have a Pyrenees that is, we have two of them, one that's not spayed and one that is spayed. But both of them are retirement. Sheila, excuse me. That is one of our standard poodles is probably going to stay here. She had, unfortunately, some complications during her spay, and she was born in 8/4/2014. So she's going to stay here with us. We do have a Newfoundland. She's not spayed, cannot be bred because of her puppies were born with entropion. So we never bred her again. She is a Newfoundland. She's 4/17/2016. But if need be, she'll live her life out here. She's done quite well, and she's been here since she was a little puppy. Sheba is our Pyrenees that is spayed. She actually lived for 2 years in our house, but I would definitely recommend her go to a no other dog house. Now, she's been okay with our dogs, our pack, but the reason we had to move her out of our home was because she was not being kind, especially to our smaller dogs that are in the house. So, but otherwise, she's been a great dog. So, but I would definitely recommend if anybody was interested in adopting her, that not only should she have a lot of fenced in area required to be able to run during the day, as she is a Pyrenees, but that she not be with especially smaller dogs. She's great with people, kids, she'd probably be wonderful with, and she's gorgeous. And like I said, she lived her first 2.5 years in our house, and she's housebroken. Her birth date is 8/2/2016. I'm just throwing those out there, but they're not ones that I've necessarily featured, being somewhat doubtful that they would actually find homes. But, you know, there's somebody for everybody out there. And I can only continue to pray that we do find homes. We are not adding to our pack at this point. We are reducing our pack. I am in the process of a new venture, sewing related, and it's actually not a new venture because I did it for 9 years, but I'm going into it from a different, well, let's just put it this way. I'm bringing technology into it to add to the talents that I took those 9 years to develop with my art. But I will be, I'm getting another long arm quilting machine, and I will be doing long arm quilts. And if there's anyone in the area through the local guild or, I'm going to be able to have a website, which back in 1999 to 2008, I did not have a website for my quilting business, but I had a steady flow of quilts through the various quilt stores recommendations, continuing customers, repeat customers. I did most of my work freehand from the front of the machine. So it was, basically the head of the machine was my paintbrush and the quilt was my palette. And this time I'm going to be adding a computerized system so that if somebody just wants edge to edge, for me, I can continue to do embroidery work, as well as set up the machine. It does take quite a bit of computer knowledge. I'm actually going to the dealer tomorrow to work on a personal quilt to kind of get familiar with the workings of the machine. But anyway, it doesn't mean that we're not going to have a litter or two here and there. But when I say that, I mean a litter at a time. We may have one coming in December. I'm kind of skeptical of that. Come on, phone, don't fall down on me. They were both newbies, and it just was the timing of it, but we'll see. That's Tessie. She was born here. She's a beautiful dark brown and white party, standard poodle, no merle. And then our new boy, Chase, he is a rather large, gorgeous, stunning, Old English sheepdog, great personality. And we'll see what happens, but it may not happen, and that's okay. God has been good to us and provided us with other resources, not as much as I made with the dog business in the years past, but we're okay. Our mortgage is paid. We have a lot to be thankful for. So I just wanted to kind of give an update as to where I'm going. No, I'm not saying the word retirement yet, but definitely scaling back. So if we have litters, it might be 2-3 litters in a year's time. Okay. And depending on how things work out with those will determine where we're going to go from here. Okay. My ultimate goal is first and foremost to get these older adults deserving of permanent loving homes here, retired and moved on. And then, of course, I would like to maybe have a litter or two, but ultimately, yes, I will be retiring from the breeding business and just continuing on with my embroidery and quilt hobby. And I don't even know that I'll ever get to the level of the personalized quilting that I did for other people that I did way back when. I was a lot younger then. I mean, that was... Well, like I said, I started in 1999. Learned my craft going to a lot of conventions out in the Midwest, taking lots of classes. When I started breeding dogs, I wanted to hang on to my machine. But unfortunately, the overhead, which a lot of people don't realize, they say, oh, you make all this money on dogs. And they don't understand the unexpected C-sections that are, thousands of dollars, unexpected health issues, things that just don't go right, which is the case in raising any type of animal, whether it is a farm animal or raising puppies. We always did our best and provided what we believed was a terrific environment for raising our puppies. And, but the overhead of beginning our business, the cost of acquiring new, well-bred, tested parents, genetically sound, sometimes unfortunately stumbling upon dogs that we could not use for our program, and so that was a great loss. But I reluctantly sold my machine because we needed that money in order to help get things launched for us back in 2008 when we started our Lawpdoodle kennel, or Lawpdoodle Canine Manor as we now call it. So anyway, I thank you all for everybody that has been loyal to us over the years. Give me a yay or nay as to whether you might be interested in a future Sheepadoodle, and that is the only breed that going forward, if we have any litters, we will be breeding, okay? We are done. The pure doodles are gone. I told you about our last Great Mountainese Doodles. And there will be no more standard poodles, but I do still have the 5 that I'd really like to find homes for that were born earlier this year. Okay, so anyway, shoot us a text. My email is Lawpdoodle Canine Manor. That's LAWPDOODLE K, the number 9, Manor, MANOR, .P as in Paul, M as in Mary, .me, M-E, okay? That is my Proton account. I wanted to get an account that was not affiliated with Gmail or anything else because I just have I still have a few Gmail accounts one of them is inactive, but a couple of them are still active. But I got nothing but junk in them. So it just takes too much to weed through. My Proton Mail account has been used exclusively for my business correspondence, and that way I don't lose you in the shuffle if you reach out to me. Okay, and they also are very good at screening out spam mail. Not to say that a few haven't come through here and there, but they're pretty good about it. So anyway, I thank you for once again putting up with my little video and update, but I just wanted to kind of tell you where I am, and pray for our country, pray for, there's so many things to be praying for. I think of our friend Vicky, who many of you were familiar with, that we lost a few weeks ago. Her daughter-in-law and son have Finnegan, her dog, which was sorry, there's a call coming through. I don't know what that is, probably another political call. Anyway, but Finnegan's doing well. I believe her daughter Julia adopted her cat. And I do think that her son and daughter-in-law have her other dog as well. I think his name was Charlie. I can't remember offhand. He wasn't from us. Finnegan was from us, but I'll hang on to the texts and my Christmas sheepdog that Vicky blessed me with a few years ago, and hang on to all the memories. And she was a wonderful person to so many people. And so continue to pray for those states that were affected by the hurricanes recently. Devastating beyond belief unless you've actually set foot there, from what I understand. Again, pray for God's will for our country, the election in days ahead, and God bless all of you. God bless the USA. God bless everyone that have, for the last almost 17 years, been a part of Lawpdoodle Canine Manor. I love you all. You've meant the world to me, and I have been able to obtain many blessings through you and through your trust in us for the puppies over the years, and many of them have had long lives. Many of them have left us. It is unfortunately the sacrifice we make in having them as part of our lives. But I pray for those that have had to say goodbye. I myself have had to say goodbye to a few of them, and have been with me since the beginning, that we kept here, stayed here as our own personal pets. So I do know that pain. But I do try to focus on the wonderful memories in the years they were with us. So God bless you all, and I hope to be able to give you another update, maybe sooner than later. And please reach out to me if you might be interested in offering what is referred to as a forever home, but we know it's not forever, but it's for the lifetime of their life here and our lives, for any of our well-deserving adults, whether they were part of our program or not, that are up for adoption. We really do look forward to hearing from you. Our website, of course, is www.sheepadoodles with an S at the end.com. That's SHEEPADOODLES.com. So there's additional information there, contact information, past pictures, maybe pictures of a couple of the adults, things like that. I usually provide the adults' pictures on the page where I feature a current litter. Anyway, God bless you all. Thank you.